Hello everyone, my name is Mike, and holy god, this episode of American Horror Story Coven. So this episode was so good. I would go as far as saying I think it's the best one so far in the season. It was honestly incredible. I mean, I laughed, I cried a lot, especially in the ending, and I actually have so much to say about it that I have a list on my phone. So the first thing I kind of want to talk about too is, which something that I think I can do unique on my reviews, I think other people can't, is I obviously, as you may know if you watch my other videos, I have a lot of knowledge about Stevie Nicks. If there's one thing that I do know in this world, it is my Stevie Nicks trivia. So the song that they used in this episode was Kind of Woman, from her album Belladonna. Now, Kind of Woman is not her most popular song, and so far this season they've stuck to her more popular songs, and I actually really liked that they chose a not so well-known song from her, because I think it really shows that they appreciate her music more. And the song actually fit incredibly well, not necessarily to Misty's storyline, but very much to Cordelia and Hank's storyline. So as you know, Hank is a witch hunter, and he's out to working for Marie Laveau, kind of, to kill all the witches in the Coven, along with Cordelia, who he was married to. Now, he married her, and supposedly wasn't supposed to have feelings for her, but as we learned in this episode, he does have feelings for her. And the song Kind of Woman is about, is told, I believe, about a man who takes on like a mistress or whatever, and it's about a woman who will haunt you. And I thought that felt that fit really well with Hank and Cordelia, because Cordelia does kind of haunt him in a way, and it says, "You didn't mean to meet her, you cry, but the sun goes down every night." And he didn't mean to not necessarily meet her, but he did mean to meet her. He didn't mean to fall in love with her. And I felt like it was very subtle, but if you didn't really know the song, you wouldn't really have gotten that really cool connection. But as a Stevie Nicks, you know, what do they call it? Stevie Nicks connoisseur. I knew what was up with that one. So good for you, Ryan Murphy. You were choosing a good one. Okay, the second thing I kind of want to talk about is Kyle. Kyle is back, and he's talking again. He's pretty much normal after Fiona discovers him, and I'm assuming she cut off his wee-woo, because that's kind of been one of the things that has been pretty focused on by Madison and Zoe. And I remember that was another very subtle thing, but I think that's what he did. I think that's what cleared his mind up, because like, they always go over like the mind over everything else, and so I think she removed his peep, because she also says he's there but not totally, so I think that's what kind of fixed him, and he's alright now. And I also like that he's being used as a guard dog too. I think that's really cool, and I really like how kind of they're going for that whole like feminine view of things too, because I know Ryan Murphy said that he wanted to have a focus on oppression in all forms in this season, and I think that's just another cool way of showing it. And I also do like how Kyle's a guard dog, because it kind of does fit his whole situation, where he's very loyal now to them, and he's also kind of like not all there. He's so not blindly loyal, but kind of like a dog. Alright, so Patti LuPone, who has a name now, Joan, her son is obviously now in a coma because she gave him a bleach enema, because that's clearly not what you're supposed to do as a mother. And Nan goes in to see her with Zoe and Madison, and they kind of persuade her to let her stay for a moment, and then Nan ends up using her clairvoyant powers to get messages across to Patti LuPone. I'm not going to call her Joan, I'm going to call her Patti LuPone, because I still think that's hilarious. And so she kind of conveys messages to her that then Patti LuPone kind of sees that they're not bad, and they have like a little nice moment where she hugs her and she says, "Oh, you're a godsend," or whatever, and she even bakes her cookies to thank her. But then Luke comes through Nan and says that he knows that Patti LuPone killed his dad because he cheated on her, and she obviously can't handle that, and she kills her son. So what was going to be a nice moment was ruined by Patti LuPone. Although she's very good in this show, so good for you, Patti LuPone. Alright, another death that happened, if you haven't seen this, major spoiler alert. So Queenie dies. I didn't know that Queenie could die, so I definitely was not prepared for this, because I know she's a human voodoo doll, but I guess any harm that happens to her that can happen to someone else has to be self-inflicted. So what happens is Hank goes to Marie Laveau's house, which no one was kind of expecting, because, you know, everyone's kind of expecting him to go for Cordelia and them, but I guess he kind of takes Cordelia's side in wanting to go kill Marie Laveau, but he only succeeds in killing Queenie. He kills a bunch of other people too in the salon, but he shoots Queenie, and then Queenie actually shoots herself in the head to kill Hank to save Marie Laveau. So a lot went on with there, but I thought that was really sad. That was definitely not something I was expecting. And around the same time that this was all happening, the head of Madame Lalaurie was upstairs, and Queenie was trying to culture her because she still, I guess, kind of sympathizes with her, and she was showing her kind of like black culture, and they had this super powerful like anti-slavery song that was playing on one of the videos that Madame Lalaurie was watching, and as this whole scene played out with Hank, the song kind of like swelled, and that was like the only thing you could hear. Like there was just the song, and then kind of the contrast between her upstairs, and she actually starts to cry, kind of seeing the wrong in her ways, and right downstairs Queenie dies, so she never gets a chance to say sorry. And I thought the contrast of that was so good, and the song too was just, it made me cry. I'm not gonna lie, it was so well done. Another thing that I really like too is Myrtle. I really like Myrtle. I liked her at the beginning, but I like her even more now. I like the actor. I don't even know who the actress is that plays her, but I think she does such a good job. And the one scene, the whole eye for an eye thing too, I thought was good. If you haven't seen that, spoiler. Cordelia gets her eyes by taking, oh god, I don't know the actor's name, but the other two on the council, the one guy that was on Reba and this other girl, and they kind of represent the Fairweather friends who were kind of not really loving Myrtle when she was on the head of the council, but really they kind of wanted her out, and they reveled in her absence, I will say that, and so she kind of gets payback by giving Cordelia back her eyes and scooping out theirs. So that scene was actually really intense. I wasn't expecting, like, it was very realistic, and I was not prepared for that. I thought it was a very cool idea. And then the one scene, the flashback, where they ask what happens, who were the donors, and they would wish to remain anonymous, and they have a flashback to Myrtle like sawing their bodies up, and she was just like going like that, and I thought that was really funny. But I like that whole concept of like an eye for an eye. And another thing I really like about American Horror Story, especially this episode, is the kind of like subtle subplot things, and they always fit so much into episodes, but it never feels rushed, and that's something else I think they do a really good job on. So the past few episodes were a little slow. It's still good, but a little slow. But this episode was so good. I would go as far as saying it was the best in the season. All of the writing in this episode was really good, and the acting from everyone was really good, and the majority of the cast was in this too, which was another cool thing, that they kind of tied a lot together in this episode. And it ends, with Marie Laveau going to the Coven, and it's all silent, but she kind of enters, and Fiona lets her in, as in they're taking sides against the witch hunters. So, oh, and now I can finally say it. I've said this in like 3 videos, and I've always been wrong because they always go on break, or I miscounted episodes. But yes, it's not going to be till January 8th, but Stevie Nicks is going to be on! And I'm so excited. The episode title is called The Magical Delights of Stevie Nicks, which I think is the cutest thing ever. So I'm really excited for that. So if you haven't seen this episode, you need to go watch it. It is phenomenal. So I hope I didn't spoil anything for any of you who watch the show and watch this. I hope I didn't spoil it, but it's been a couple days, so you should be good. So thank you for watching, and subscribe if you haven't, and like it, and comment anything about this episode, because we need to talk about this, because there's so much happened, and I will see you next time on the Pratt Pack. Bye!